In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you Thought Forms 101. This is the first video of a series I'm going to be doing, which has to do with understanding a deeper level of the law of attraction and spirituality that you may have never heard of before. These are things that are considered esoteric, but once you understand them, it changes everything. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you that of Thought Forms 101, understanding our thoughts in a completely new way. This goes beyond the law of attraction. This goes beyond the secret. And this video I think will help you to start to see the whole world in a different way. Because normally what we do is we perceive reality through just what we relate to with our senses. Just through, oh, I can feel my body, this is me, that is you over there. Not knowing that there's a whole plane that overlays ours, which you could call it the astral realm, which we're going to talk about this. And what happens is this plane that overlays ours, there are certain frequencies that exist within it that we do not see. Yet, we are walking around all day, every day, projecting these thoughts out into our auric field. We are projecting them out and they exist, but we're just completely unaware of it. So by the end of this video, I think you'll see reality in a completely new way. And you'll understand more about why you feel the way you do, sometimes why you might feel like people's energy rubs off on you, sometimes why you might go into a certain place and have a certain vibe about it and then feel like it changes your mood. There are many different layers to this, but nonetheless, what I'm going to be sharing with you are the different levels and also how to manifest what you want, understanding this, because it makes the manifestation process so much more powerful, because then you understand why you do what you do. You understand why there's a certain process for it, or with visualization, or with feeling the emotion. I'm going to share with you those different things. Now, first off, I went down a giant rabbit hole last night. So what happened was I read a book that is called Thought Forms, and it's an esoteric book from the early 1900s. And it's a funny thing because the author of the book Thought Forms was also the author of another book that was gifted to me by my 80-year-old grandpa, who was very much into esoteric stuff. And let me show you. So this is the book he gave me. It is called actually he let me borrow it, but I don't know if he remembers he let me borrow it. It's called Man Visible and Invisible, or Woman Visible and Invisible. And in it, it's this esoteric book that's about the different energy bodies. And I'll kind of show you what it looks like. But in general, it has to do with understanding, you can kind of see it right there. It has to do with understanding that there's an auric field that goes around our body. And normally people think that the aura is just one color. But in this book, what it shows is that there's many different colors that go around us, depending on our mood. So we might have like an angry thought about someone, and then we might have like a touch of red that comes out. Red has a certain emotion or certain quality to it, and it goes out when we're thinking about someone. And that is a part of this process I'm going to be sharing with you. But then there's different colors represent different vibrations, and clairvoyant people can see this. My grandpa isn't religious, but what he would do sometimes is he would go with my grandma to church, because what he said he liked to do is he liked to sit in the crowd and watch all the different colors of the people as the service was going on. I found that very interesting. So he said he would just watch the colors, because my grandpa's very clairvoyant. I won't go too much into it, but he's seen some things in his life, and he's been around some things that 99.9% of people haven't seen in their life. I just let you kind of maybe guess as to what some of that is, but he's experienced and worked for different things that have allowed him to really think outside the box, I guess you could say. And therefore, he gave me that book probably about a year ago. Well, I had actually one of my YouTube subscribers, her name's Elena, she's awesome. She has been telling me to read the book Thought Forms and the different books by this author, which his name is C.W. Leadbeater. And I finally, I've been so busy, but I finally got around to it, and I see why. Now, what this book Thought Forms shows is an esoteric understanding of how our thoughts are literally things. Our thoughts we think of are just these abstract things inside of our brain. But there's a whole world around us of thought forms that we're not even aware of, that we can't visibly see with our eyes, but it does not mean that it is not there. Now, this is what happens a lot of times. We think thoughts consistently. these thoughts go within our auric field, which is similar to that book I just showed you. We have an egg-shaped auric field around our body. And depending on the emotions we have and how we feel, these thoughts go within our auric field and they continue to download, or they continue to go in a circular toroidal field type action. Just like the HeartMath Institute has showed, there's a toroidal field that goes around our body. Now, the thing with thought forms is that these go out, and what happens is, depending on the intensity of the thought, depending on the quality of the thought, depending on the definiteness of the thought, these things go out, and then what happens is they team up with other thoughts. This is also from the book Reality Transurfing, when it's called Pendulums. And you may walk into a room and literally walk into different thought forms that carry with it a certain vibration. You may find yourself, I've used this analogy before, in traffic, angry that somebody just cut you off. And then you also, when you get into that emotion, you tack on, and there's other thought forms of other people that have gotten angry on that same road that may also then bump into your thought forms, and then they may, in a way, cling to your auric field, making you feel even more angry. Now, something that I thought was interesting that was said as well is, when we think certain thoughts, we have a certain feeling or emotion, it goes into one of our, we have different layers of fields. We have a physical, an astral, a mental, all these different layers to our aura. And what happens is it affects each of our auras every time we feel negative emotion, every time we have certain thoughts. Now, what happens is as you're thinking thoughts, these are going out. And as they go out, this is something that you may have noticed before. The other day, I was over there in that dining room. I was thinking of a certain thing, and I was really pondering it and going upon this certain challenge, something I'm figuring out. I leave that room, I leave that space. I don't walk in there for like a whole nother day. But when I walk into it again, I start having those same thoughts of something I completely forgot about. But it came back to me because these thoughts are literally things that are, in a way, floating around. Now, in general, over time, if those thoughts aren't kept consistent, the thought forms begin to dismantle. So it's not something that has to remain there forever. Now, here's something else, though. You got someone like in the book Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. He talks about how, in one point, there was his mom who went to this guru that told her that she would have this locket that would appear in her hand at nighttime, and that locket, while she's in meditation, when it appeared in her hand, she would give it to Paramahansa Yogananda later on in life. Well, what happened was, she went into meditation, that locket appeared. One of the things they said in the book, and Paramahansa Yogananda said, is that it was an astrally formed locket, meaning it was still a physical locket, but it was formed in the astral plane and then there, and then in her hands. And then she eventually gave that to Paramahansa Yogananda after she passed away. She had someone give it to him. And she told the story in a letter. So what's very interesting is that a lot of these things I'm learning about this book are correlating with many different areas of things that I've already learned based on esoteric knowledge. But let me share with you the most profound idea from understanding thought forms. The thoughts you think carry with it a certain quality. Now, depending on the quality of that thought, which you could say is correlating with a certain color, which has a certain type of vibration, the higher the intention, the higher the quality of the thought, the more likely that thought is to manifest, or the higher vibration that thought has that then allows it to manifest. For example, if you are like, I want to manifest being a multimillionaire so I can tell everyone what to do, and I can tell and show all those people that didn't believe in me in the past that they were wrong. If that is the intention, that carries with it a certain vibration. You could say that has a certain color that goes with it as well. The color is just representative of the quality. Now, if you have an intention of saying, I want to become wealthy so that I can add value to people, so that I can show people that they create their own reality, so that it would help people to wake up to who they really are, then what happens is that's a higher vibrational thought. That's a higher quality. And because it's a higher vibrational thought, let's say that color is represented by a higher ideal, which could be like a light blue. There's different colors that represent with different emotions. Then that thought will then go out, and then it has more potential for more of those thoughts to, in a way, team up with it as well. Now, from the information that I've read in Autobiography of a Yogi, Paramahansa Yogananda talks a lot about this. The higher vibration your thoughts, the more other higher vibrational thoughts that cling to you, to where then you use them in a powerful way. However, the lower thoughts that you have also cling to it, lower vibrational thought forms that then get inside of your energy field. You see, so if you're angry at somebody that did something to you, that's not just, you're projecting it, and you can project thoughts towards other people. But that's not necessarily a positive thing, especially if you're angry at someone, because as that thought goes out to them, first off, there could be a certain level of karma there, I'm not sure. But in general, when you're putting out that negative thought form, if the other person is in a loving state, and it won't affect them. First off, if you're wondering, what about people sending me negative thoughts? If you're in a loving state, those things don't have a negative effect on you. However, if you are in a state of very defensive of what people might say to you, if you're in a jealous state or lower vibrational state, those things are more in resonance with you. The best protection towards this energy field understanding is you being in a higher vibrational state, you raising your vibration. But see, if you're angry at something somebody did to you, at something someone did to you, you have maybe a red negative thought that goes in your auric field. It then stays in your auric field until you observe it, or until you let it go, or until you work through it. And then as you go into the world, you'll find more and more reasons to be angry because it's literally shielding in your auric field. Now, this is what is said in the book, and this is what really resonates with me as well. We are all walking around in an energetic field that is clouded with so many thoughts that it is causing us lower vibrational experiences. It is causing us to resonate with people at a lower level, or you could say with the problems that we might have. And we are all prisons of our own majority cluster thought forms that we have. This is why it is so important to wake up and to start to think for yourself, and also to become more observant of your thoughts. This is why I think meditation is one of the most powerful practices you can learn. Because then as you observe your thoughts, you aren't putting out these thoughts and then identifying with them and having them be within your energetic field so much. And you're able to then let them leave. The more that you fight these thoughts, the more that they're there. But people walk around with these thought forms within their energetic field, and these thought forms have been there for such a long period of time that what happens is then it starts to create these patterns, these belief structures for the way they see the world. So we're in a way seeing the world through tainted glass because of all the thought forms that were within our energetic field. This is why meditation is one of the most powerful things that you can do. So in general, when you are thinking of certain thoughts or of just yourself in the future, this is why it is so important to understand thought forms and to understand the definiteness, the vision that you have for what you want to create, the specificness of it as well. Because, for example, this is what a lot of people do. Like, for example, with me with my YouTube channel. Here I am. Why was I able to create a big following on YouTube? Using my thoughts. And also, this is the thing as well. It's not just your thought forms, it's the emotion as well. Let's say you are putting out that of say I had an intention to just grow YouTube because I thought that would make my ego look really cool, and I thought that then maybe people would like me, and it would really emphasize my sense of identity, of how I feel. Well, that carries with it a certain vibration. That's a lower vibrational intention, quality. That then goes out, and that will then a lot of times be met with a lot of resistance and a lot of experience and a lot of negative things that can happen. But the intention that I had was realizing the more good that I put out into the world, the more that comes back to me, and the more that then I can help people. I realized that there is a global shift in consciousness happening on the planet, and because I have the intention of adding value to people, it's like it has a lighter energy where then people feel that energy off of me. A lot of people say, I watch your videos and it feels so, you feel authentic, and I'm so happy that you're making these videos, they've helped me, blah, blah, blah. It's a pure intention. It's something people feel. I do daily videos on YouTube, and it may seem repetitive, some of the videos I make, but I realize that it's not about the different topics that I make, the different intellectual ideas. It's an energy component. It's an energetic thing because people connect to energy more than just the intellectual ideas, you see. But here's the thing. We're all in the prison of our own thought forms. And unless we become aware of it, we continue to create a reality where we are in maybe that victim mode, in the repetitive thought patterns that we have. But the key to this is the awareness. And for this. By the way, if you like this video, can you let me know if you want me to do more on this type of topic by hitting the like button, like they would say, those cool YouTubers, smash that like button. If you could do that, it'll help me know that you want more videos on thought forms. But in general, I think I'm going to make this a whole series because there's a lot more to this. But what happens is these thoughts go out depending on the quality and the color of that is represented by. And what's mainly important to understand is the intention behind the thought forms you have. Because then as you put it out there, you then resonate with different things that are equal to what you are putting out, to what the intention behind what you have. So the biggest problem with the law of attraction is that people are going for lower level paradigm things. They're going for money. They're going for superficial ego gratification. And because that's coming from a lower level of consciousness, what happens is those thoughts that are being put out aren't as powerful of having the thoughts of that of what you're actually passionate about, of you doing things that really add value to people. So you see, that's the difference. Why are you doing what you're doing? And what I think I'm going to begin to create is a whole understanding of these different levels of thoughts, because there's these different levels of thoughts that have a different vibration. If it's just to get money, if it's just to get the symbols, it's going to have a certain vibration. If it's to add value to the collective, add value to people, to help people, it is a much, much higher vibration, you see? So it's about being aware of that. And what Paramahansa Yogananda says in some of his books is he says that the higher vision thoughts you have, where you understand that you are a piece of the divine, you are a divine being, and you want to add value to other people, well, what happens is that's a higher vibrational thought that then also allows things to manifest easier for you, but also it allows you to then resonate with other higher vibrational thoughts that are around. This is one of the reasons why I believe something like Om is such a powerful mantra, because most people that are doing Om mantra have been doing it with the intention of tapping into the divine, understanding more about themselves. There's a divine intention, a sacred intention to it. Now, you've also had how many millions of people in the past that have said the Om or done the Om mantra with that intention for maybe thousands of years, which then means that you are picking up on the frequencies and the energies that are all around within our collective consciousness, because we have a world where there's a collective consciousness around it. And the collective consciousness is full of the repetitive thoughts, emotions, and actions of the people that are within it. Those have certain energetic patterns. Now, I could keep going on this all day, honestly, because there's a whole nother aspect of this, of aligning the different energetic bodies. We have a physical body, an astral body, a mental body, and the thing is what some people do is they only remain in the mental body, mentally thinking about what they want, but they don't align their different energy bodies with what they want. You see, one of the reasons I was so successful on growing my YouTube channel is my thoughts were on adding value to people, to create, to help them to understand more about themselves, which is a higher vibrational thought. Of course, underneath that, there was a desire to go full-time doing what I love and stuff like that, but there was a general consensus of the more value I add, the more good comes back. There was an understanding there. As well as within my physical body, I was physically taking the action to also make daily videos. So there's an alignment of energy systems there as well. So like I said, if you want me to do more videos on this, smash the like button, hit the like button, tap the like button, gently massage the like button, however you want to work it out. Just hit the like button, let me know you want more on this. But in general, here's the parts that's important to understand. It is not just the thoughts you think. People could say, I've been thinking about money all day long and nothing's happened. Well, money's a symbol. A higher vibrational reality of focusing instead of on money is the value you add to other people, which the value you add to other people, and whether that's a product you create or whether that's a service you provide, the difference, the energy dynamic that comes back to you may be a form of abundance, which could be money. But the idea is the focus on that is a higher vibrational frequency that then allows things to come to you easier than something that is from a lower level consciousness or lower level emotion. So focus on the emotion behind your thoughts, and then you'll begin to see things will change in a very powerful way. So this has to do with understanding these different dynamics and your levels of consciousness with that process. So in general, this is part one. Now we understand a little bit more about thought forms. What can you do about this? Be aware of why you want what you want, and is it connected to your passion? If it's connected to your passion, this thing will light you up. This video has been going on for I think about 20 minutes now, and it feels like to me it's been about a minute because I'm passionate about it. It lights up my energetic field. One of the reasons people like watching me on YouTube is not because of the words I say. It is because of the energetic field that I am in while I'm creating these videos. This is what I love doing. I'm in my passion. This is how I make daily videos every single day. And other people can then feel that energetically, whether it's the words that keep them hooked or the repetitive video ideas or whatever it is. It's about understanding it's more of an energy you're connecting to. And as I go through these epiphanies, I'm able to emit that out, that passion. You can probably feel the passion I have about these different types of ideas. And then what happens is that allows you to as well tap into that energy within yourself. So for this, what I recommend you do is become aware of the thoughts you're having, the quality of the thoughts you're having, and then the definiteness of the thoughts you're having. So what happens is, see, I could keep on going about this. But what happens is the definiteness of me looking at YouTube, going full time on YouTube. If I were to create and keep focusing on that and then move to something else, then what would happen is that energy then starts to dissipate because I'm not focused on it a lot. That's why they say success takes a lot of focus. The more you focus on these thought forms, the more real that reality starts to become. But then if you shift your attention away from it, it starts to dissipate. So attention grows the thought form, not attention or not looking at that anymore, it starts to dissipate that thought form. So that's why it's so important for you to pay attention to the vision you have for what you want to create and the definiteness, but behind the definiteness of how clear you are, of what it means, like for me to go full-time on YouTube, what does that mean? What does that look like? What is my daily habits like? Become very definite and specific. On the other side is the quality. Why do you want it? Is it connected to your passion? Does it have to do with adding value to people? This formula right here that I'm sharing can change your whole entire life with that of the law of attraction. And what I encourage you to do is to share this video with people, to help people understand more about how thoughts are literally things. Share it with people and let them know that there's much more to this reality than they can even imagine. And that when we begin to tap into the quality and the definiteness of what we are thinking, and we begin to align that up with our physical body as well, everything in our life will begin to change. So like I said, if you like this video, if you could like it, let me know if you want me to do more on this. Comment what you think about this video topic below. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Peace, much love, and namaste.